just done a calculation and we are 8 weeks away from Challenge Wanaka. And I wanted to do a little update. Now, what I have learned over the last couple of weeks doing this is that actually there is a lot that I've had to learn about myself and my capacity to train and live and all of that sort of thing as well. Now, I have already alluded in the past blogs to not being able to do the full training set that was originally written for me by a teammate. What I have since found is that actually I can probably only do one long bike and one swim and one of something else, and that is really about it. At the moment, it's been a bike, a swim, and a park run. Now, something else I had to put on the back burner a few weeks ago. Say hello, Kiwi. And don't scratch my dress. Another thing that I've had to put on the back burner is my return to running. Now, I found this out a few weeks ago when I challenged somebody I'd met at Dunedin Park Run to a park run using their arms. And they did 2K in my wheelchair and I did 2K walk running. And my leg afterwards, my quad was so sore I couldn't do any riding for a couple of days. Now this is excellent because actually my quad is actually doing some work for a change, but what it actually meant is that I can't feasibly expect my left leg to do that and cycling. I've also found that the whole training schedule with regards to cycling, I've had to cut back as well. So just to one long ride is the one thing I'm prioritizing at the moment. And that really is tough on me. We've had a lot of wind lately, which has put the outside riding on the back burner, and I've had to do it on Zwift. And when I do that, I'm on my time trial bike and I've got no assistance, as well as a much more tucked in riding position, which my leg can't quite do yet. Sometimes I get on and that is fine. Sometimes I get on and that is just not so fine at all. Now, the 60k ride I did recently, I started it on the trainer because it looked like it was going to be a crappy day outside. 7k in, my left leg was just so sore I couldn't carry on. And I got off and I was just about to throw a hissy and not do anything. And I looked outside the window and it was sunshine and I thought, oh, I'll go outside and try it instead. Now, of course, outside I'm using my road bike with a bit of e-assistance, and that is at the moment vital for me because that enables me to rest the leg when it comes to pedaling power, when it starts to get sore, and then I turn the battery up, and when it's recovered a bit I turn the battery back down again, and that enables me to go further with a lot less pain. And that's going to be the key for me at Challenge Wanaka, is using that to get me through the hills, for example. But I did the 60k, and this week we're up to 75, and that's supposed to happen on Christmas weekend. But I'm going to postpone that to the middle of next week, and I hope that the weather outside will be good enough to do that. And that's going to be 2 laps of my 40k course. So that's 2/3 of the race distance. My training schedule takes me to 95 at the max, which is like 2/3 of race distance, which is the same as people that are doing a marathon would do. They do about 30k if they're running a marathon. So yeah, we're marching on in the volume stakes. I've also been using my foam goggles, and that's helped me do some proper structured training rather than just bimbling up and down the pool. I'm not so worried about the 3k swim as I am about the 120k bike ride. That really is the outer edge of my limits at all, right? Now, I've never actually cycled that far, even when I had 2 feet. I've never actually cycled that far. So it really has taken me to a different plane completely. So that puts the perspective on me doing this for charity right in the forefront, because this is not something I'm going to do every year. This is a ticket off the bucket list and say I've completed it as an individual and then move on. What has actually concreted that for me is these statistics that I got from Zwift the other week. Now, try as I might, what those statistics actually show you is that I do still have a predominant fast twitch tendency, and that's why I always was a sprinter in triathlon terms, is because that's what I was better at. Now, I've not actually been doing too much sprint training. I've been working hard on long distance training, but like, look at that, 1100 watts I've managed to achieve at one point in September this year for a sprint. And that is just phenomenal. I am so stoked with those statistics, considering I'm operating on 1 and a bit legs. But it does actually put into force the fact that Challenge Wanaka is going to be so damned hard for me, because it's just not my natural tendency to go long and slow. And it's not my muscles' natural capabilities either. So I really do want to stress the charity that I'm running this for, which is bloody cat, which is called Association Violet. Now, my dad lives in France, and I came across the president of this charity when I was over there visiting last year. A lot of children in the French system that are born with lifelong disabilities don't get proper funding for that, and their families don't get proper funding for that to support them when they have to travel long distances, much the same as a geography in New Zealand, to get treatment. So I really am keen on raising as much money as I can for them, and every cent of it is going to them. So please do donate, even if it's just $10, to the Give a Little page. It has had to be verified with the charity so that you know that it's going to actually go there. So yes, so what is my training looking like coming forwards? Well, I have come upon it's been really confronting to discover that I actually have only got less than half of my capability that I had before. That means that I can't go out and train every day even if I want to. That means I need big fat long rests. It means I need all of that thing that I don't want to do. So my realistic training is one super long bike ride, one shorter one somewhere in the week if I've got the energy, and a swim. And they are my priorities at the moment. It doesn't sound much, but it's really all I can manage at this precise moment in time. It is taking a heck of a lot out of me. This week I've had to declare this week a rest week completely, and I did a swim on Monday, which was a recovery swim, and I'm not going to do that much else all this week because I'm just fatigued and I need to be able to get to the start line in the best possible shape. So I'm doing a reset next week with my 75k bike on the middle of next week, and then we up it in a couple of weeks to 95, and then we're on the taper. Currently out on my long bike ride, and I thought I'd stop and just talk about the crazy stuff that goes through your brain when you're riding. So I started my ride on Zwift. The lake was not playing ball at all. I decided the sun had come out and it had stopped raining, so I'd go outside. It feels really hard today. I've got the assistance up to maximum. I feel like it should be harder, easier. There's quite a blustery wind. I underestimated how much of a headwind I had until I turned left, and it's quite a gusty side wind. I tend to avoid going outside when it's this windy, but I need to get it done. A million things have gone through my mind. I want to stop. I want to do the short loop. I'm not going to do the long ride today. And then I was thinking things like, I remember talking to a customer about long distance training, and he said that it's all about how much pain you can put yourself through, and that is dead right. So then I thought about what it would feel like finishing Challenge Wanaka, crossing that line, and I didn't want to be a DNF. Then I remembered Ilat and how determined I was to finish that race and get a pre-qualifier and be third Brit, and I collapsed over the line and needed medical assistance, but I finished it. So I can put myself through pain, and I'm going to. So yeah, good things aren't always easy. Easy things aren't always good. What this has also done is it's actually made me look at what I'm planning to do in the future from here. So looking at those statistics, my tendencies and strengths are towards sprinting and shorter distances, but you see, aqua bikes don't come in shorter distances. So what am I going to do? If you've got any brilliant suggestions for multisport, for an amputee that has got a tendency towards sprints and can't walk and run, then please give me a yell, because I am really not sure what to do next. I am going to give the bike a rest after I've got past Challenge Wanaka, and then go back to the run walk and see how far I can progress with that. But I'm giving my leg a rest for a while from that so I can focus on cycling. So 8 weeks to go. Christmas coming up at the weekend. I am going to have a wee rest at the weekend, but then straight back into training the middle of next week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I'll talk to you again soon. Don't forget to donate.